Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell from the title, today I will show you guys an argument I thankfully got footage of. Before we begin, please acknowledge that these people might be going through hard times, so harassment to anyone is not condoned. Right off the bat, V started pointing out bad trinkets and saying they were bad at the game. Everyone was offended, which is fair. I also started beef and drama by pointing out how you cannot tell if they're bad at the game or not unless you play a few matches with them. I kept going off on this, getting more and more frustrated with this argument. Eventually, things got even worse and even worse as this argument increased with the heat. In this scene, I was mostly siding with the other side, until I noticed something that isn't really okay to say, even if you're mad at each other. I ended up agreeing with them because I just didn't know what side to take. I mean, this argument started off very stupid, and the actions that they're doing is not mature at all. To be honest, I was another type of source in this argument because I was continuing it, but I felt like in that moment I had to show them that trinkets don't matter. But then Goob died anyway, and then she started laughing in chat, of course, not in VC. But there's not okay. I really need a script. I went ahead and cut out a floor because the rest of that second floor wasn't very interesting. This gets interesting when people point out avatars. Why are we pointing out avatars now? This started from a simple call out. Like, what are you guys thinking? I kept on going in this argument because I felt like I had to. I'm not saying it was a bad idea because I did give people lessons in the end of this, but it really hurt my heart how people just kept on going and they were correcting grammar, they were correcting avatars, they were saying, like over here, just popped up right now, I can't fully type because I'm in a cast, give me a break. Like, who asked? However, I then sided and I was like, I'm in the hospital, that's my current state and condition. Because I wanted people to feel bad so they could just stop arguing. But in the next floor, I don't know what floor it is, but I'm going to cut it to that part right now. Gliston calls V a pick-me. Like, what evidence do you have of that? Where's the evidence? I can tell that V is probably like just someone who is just mad at starters or something. I don't know. Just they pointed out trinkets and somehow they're a pick-me. I'm siding with V on this one. I sided with V for the rest of the time, but I didn't want to make it obvious because I didn't really want to get reported. Some people did end up getting reported, and Glisten does deserve that report because I don't know what Glisten was doing on that floor. It was just really bad. I ended up pointing out that my side was both because I didn't want to be biased and both of them were being stupid. However, I start to get on V's side around this moment because someone points out the pick-me stuff. I stopped distracting because I wanted people to just stop arguing, and I ended up saying later in this video that I'm not going to distract until this argument stops, because this argument is very stupid. Why, people, why are we arguing about this? Like, you don't know if they're a pick-me or not. You don't know any of that. To be fair, I didn't see Glisten's text at first, so I just went off of what V said, and I was like, wait, why is Glisten saying that? Then I said, okay, you do not have any say if V is a pick-me, you're just saying that because of frustration. And then I don't know what he means by the wow Coco. Maybe Coco was grieving or something, because I wasn't really paying attention. I was just trying to gather the Twisteds, and then I don't know what I was doing, but I was trying to lose the Twisteds in a way. And then Kat goes, "Cheese, you're pretty one-sided for someone who isn't on any side." And this is mainly why I let go of the Twisteds. Sorry, I'm not using a script, and I have no time to redo this. I have 20 minutes till my next class. But anyway, V was in the wrong for pointing out a bad tune and trinkets. I said tune just to sound more mature, I guess. I don't know. They're taking it way too far, which is what I say in this. They're typing things that are not true. Well, they could be true, but you don't know if they're true or not. Like, what if someone was going through something and that just, like, what if that was their last strand and you just used your scissors to cut it? It's not okay to do that. Kat keeps going off, just saying what they sound like. No, you do not know the state and condition anyone is in. Like, that's exactly why I pointed out that I'm in the hospital, because I'm hospitalized and I know, like, I'm having a surgery soon. But they kept on arguing. I thought this was probably gonna end it again. And then it tagged, which was unfortunate, but yeah. We ignore how I hate Roblox. Anyway, I'll I'll stop voicing over for a bit, and then you can see how things play out. And at the one diner map, I'll voice over that too. I was going to wait until this got more serious, but now that I'm reading it back, I've noticed that they've been arguing for 6 floors straight on the same exact thing, and then Glisten goes ahead and says, I low-key hope V gets killed next. Like, V is not being the most useful teammate, but you're not either. Glisten, you have been sitting around doing nothing. That is the exact reason why I'm not doing my own role. I'm waiting until you guys stop arguing, which never happens. Well, it does happen, but that's in another 20 minutes, by the way. 20 minutes of arguing. We only made it to floor 14 or so, and it was all about arguing. This is... I don't... It's good content, but I don't like seeing this everywhere. But then I stopped moving, and Glisten told me to do my assorted role. I'm not distracting until you guys stop this stupid argument, because this argument is stupid. Very stupid. Why are we doing this? And then I said love because why not? Why not? And then another thing with V, why are we forcing people to distract? Plus, it's a low floor anyway. I was gonna write that, but it's literally only floor 6. You can survive Scraps and Toodles, which was on 1 floor. You can survive Tisha. You can survive those tunes, okay? You don't need to rely on me to distract until at least floor 10. Unless we get Twisted Pebble. If we got a main, which we will next floor, I'm pretty sure. I didn't really pay attention. I'm just editing this as I'm going through. Then I would understand. You would be like, yeah, we need a distractor. There's Twisted Pebble on the floor. We're all low stealth tunes. I'm slow. Like, that makes sense. But the fact that it was just commons and a couple rares, being Scraps and Goob that I died to last one, those are easy twisted. You just gotta look around. If it was a blackout, I understand. But like, yeah, on this floor we get Astro, and this is just like, they're just getting even worse. At this point, I'm really taken aback about what Glisten says. I get it immediately. Jump off. What? Why are we doing this? This is so immature. Like, you never know what someone's going through, and like, what if that was their last strand again? Like, what if that was the only thing holding them back from harming themselves? This is not okay. Why are we doing this? That ends up tagging, so I had to write it in a different way, which is the strand way. What if V was thinking thoughts of self-harm? And yeah, then V spits out a really good example. Are you that mad over a game? And then I got a warning of bans. Like, I got a warning that I'll be banned if I keep on saying this, but I kept on doing it anyway because getting banned is better than not spreading self-awareness. And this Glisten clearly needs self-awareness in his life. I don't know what he was going through, but no matter what you're going through, that is not okay no matter what. Like, if you want other people to think what you think, then you should just talk to someone. Like, get a therapist. Don't say that to strangers, because then they're gonna think what you think, and you're not even gonna make yourself feel better either. You're just making you both sink harder into the iceberg. And then I said, what satisfaction do you want from that? Like, what satisfaction are you getting from saying that to a fellow person who is your age? Like, the rates are very high right now, and you want them to be higher? Really? Is that really your goal in life? To make other people mad at themselves for having their own opinion? Mind you, this argument started over bad trinkets. This started over bad trinkets, and now you're pulling out death threats, and you're saying you don't even care? I mean, of course they're not your friends, they're not your family, you don't know them in real life, but thought of you, like, imagine you grow up, right? You're like 27, you have your own job, you have a kid, you have a wife or a husband, and you're just in the shower and you're like, I did that 10 years ago. I killed someone 10 years ago over bad trinkets. That is one of a thought to think of. this point, I start losing a bit of faith in V, because then they start going off. I don't think anyone would want to be with a horrible person like you. Well, sure, they are kind of horrible at that. Like, they're not being nice, and that's not okay. But thankfully, after this, after I say my, not apologies, but things clear up a bit. Things clear up. This is like, I didn't pay attention in ELA, but it's after the climax. Like, Glisten has no more words to say because we kind of just poured everything on him, and all he said was pick me, which is his only comeback. My F key was kind of broken, so I had to spam it this entire time. After this, it started to clear up. I was just chatting, and it was a fun time now because everyone was chatting with each other, being nice. Mostly me and V though, because we had the most similarities. I then joined Catalog Avatar so we could just talk. We didn't talk about this, what happened in game. We played a few matchmaking matches, and then I asked if there was a game we could just talk in, and she suggested Catalog Avatar. Now I'm not going to show any clips of that because it's kind of personal, and we were just talking. It was a fun time, and I'm glad that I stopped this argument before it got even worse. I'm glad the threat stopped. I'm glad that everything about this stopped, and we went up to we just went up, and I'm really thankful for that. But that's basically all the footage I got. I stopped recording after a while because I didn't really have any more footage. I was like, you know what, this is all I need. I'll just post this to the internet and it'll be okay.